far as GBM is concerned, he's been putting up some big numbers for his team. So we'll see if his Azir can do the same versus Zefa. So Zefa's Lucian, you can see both players just really focusing, pushing the wave here as quickly as they can. Should see perfect CS for both of them, at least for the time being. Nice piercing light to hit both the creep wave and his enemy. There, Sand Soldier being spawned, and actually will get a couple of auto attacks off. Actually 3 there by that Sand Soldier, so a lot of value coming out there, even at level 1. Fairly even sustained, but an early level 2 here means a couple of Light Slinger passives, and GBM pushed back to his turret. Needs that piercing light, and does bait out a couple of Sand Soldier auto attacks. Zefa put in a decent situation right now. Up about 1 CS, I believe. Piercing light hits through the creep wave again. But look at all the mana that GBM is forced to expend just on putting these Sand Soldiers out to continue to shove the wave. And this is exactly what we were talking about during the champion selection process. Was that if you run an 80 carry versus Azir, you're always going to have the lane advantage, because you can push him back to his turret, zone him off the creep wave, and even just force out his mana pool, which you can see is still actually pretty low. Using a lot of those crystalline flash charges and mana potions just to try to sustain this up during the early phase. Misses the cannon minion. That's actually a big differential. Cannon minions are a potion and a half. If you want to think about that, every single creep kill matters here. Dashing forward, there's piercing light to hit, and man, that does so much damage versus an Azir that only has 32 armor. We've seen armor counts as high as around 50 at this point for, I think it was Eve's Zed. He won that matchup versus Zefa, so... Have to keep an eye on the HP bars as Sand Soldier Harass actually starting to get a little bit rough for Zefa to deal with. Taking another couple of auto attacks. May actually head back to base here. Keep in mind it is barrier versus heal as far as summoner spells are concerned. Of course, teleport's picked up by both players. But I actually like the barrier a little bit better than heal. Overall, it just gives you more defensive stats, but can be baited out. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not GBM uses the block guaranteed damage, like maybe a piercing light that he can't dodge. You throw out the barrier and have that advantage, but that would primarily just be in the 1v1. A lot of minions here built up in this wave, pushing in towards Zefa's turret. GBM continuing to push the wave just so he gets a free trip back to base, and will force Zefa to CS under turret, which he should be able to do fairly decently, but at the same time, missing 1 CS will put him, I believe, at exactly even, 31 to 31 as far as CS is concerned. Thinking about recalling, but at this point, really both players want to recall it. So should be perfect CS here for Zefa under turret. Trying to CS, and I think he will miss 1 CS. Hits the last one with Light Slinger, and we'll take a free trip back to base. Double Doran's rings and a ton of consumables. Picked up here by Gank by Mom. Zefa should be able to pick up a couple of Doran's blades as well as the consumables that he needs. I think he went with 1 less mana potion, which is fairly standard just because he's overall going to use a little bit less mana than GBM, who does have to spam out a bunch of Sand Soldiers. And possibility to pick up perfect CS here. We'll see if he's able to grab it. Piercing light through there, and 1 last auto attack will not land. So 1 CS advantage picked up off that wave for Ganked by Mom. I want to say, yeah, he is 1 CS, now actually 2 CS ahead. And of course, commenting on the CS, maybe not seeming like something super exciting. Whoa, what happened to Zefa's HP bar? I think he actually came back from base without fully healing up, or maybe those Sand Soldiers just deal that much damage. Already forced through 2 health potions he's got running on his champion behind his turret. And of course, we've already talked about how effective Azir is at killing turrets. You walk up, hit a rise on him, and whoa, here we go, level 6 here. The culling, most of it being barriered out there, is Emperor's Divide. Zefa tried to relentless pursuit through Emperor's Divide and got bounced back from it. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, you kind of forget what the skills do and gets bounced back for it. Loses the mana from that, and of course is not going to be able to put those Light Slinger proc passives to use on Ganked by Mom. So Ultimate's coming out for both players. Actually really liked Zefa's all-in. His all-in timing is just super well calculated, even on Misfortune in game number 1. He knew exactly when he needed to go in, but game number 2 proving somewhat more punishing. I bet he wishes that Mana Potion was a health potion right now, as there is a slightly large health differential between both Ganked by Mom and Zefa. Now, should be seeing a Piercing Light to come out. Oh, actually a Crucial Sand Soldier miss there. Zefa will hit a couple of Piercing Lights there through the minion wave, but overall, just especially with that level up there by GBM, he's just going to be so far ahead in the health pool that it doesn't really matter how many Piercing Lights Zefa puts out. He just can't get next to the creep wave, or else he takes that Sand Soldier harass. And honestly, GBM might have kill potential off the dive, but I think he's just going to look to put on pressure to deny. Oh my god! Zefa almost just died to a Sand Soldier auto attack there, so he will be forced to head back to base and lose the majority of this wave coming into his turret. They've been keeping pretty even on CS so far, so this will represent one of the bigger discrepancies, as there is no teleport for Zefa to come back to lane with GBM. Actually might just win the... Oh my god, GBM's gonna win the game! He's taking down that turret. The Arise damage is just way too much to deal with. Might actually kill the turret with an Arise. Nope, it's just gonna be an auto attack, and at 8 minutes and 18 seconds, Ganked by Mom.